mentors, mentees, members of the media. It is with great pride and excitement that I welcome you all to the lunch and orientation ceremony of the 6-month mentorship program for 20 women journalists organized by the Women Journalist Association of the Gambia and supported by Freedom House Gambia, promoting rights and justice. Today marks the beginning of a transformative journey for 20 talented women journalists who will be participating in this comprehensive mentorship program. Our primary goal is to empower these mid-career journalists with skills, knowledge, confidence, expertise, and need to excel in their profession and to eventually become mentors themselves, thereby creating a circle of empowerment and professional development within the media industry. The objective of this mentorship is first off to enhance their skills, which is through personalized guidance and practical training. We aim to refine the journalistic skills of our mentees, covering areas such as writing, editing, interviewing, and investigative reporting. We are also looking at a professional development for the simple fact that we seek to foster the significant career growth and advancement opportunities by helping our mentees achieve their professional aspirations and also to create a strong network. Actually, we already have a strong network, but a stronger network for Women Journalist Association, which aims to provide a platform for mutual support, collaboration, and efforts here. And fundamentally for us, leadership has been on top of our agenda for the fact that we have a lot of women journalists in the media, but hardly do they cross through the path of senior producers or editors or managers. And this is also fundamental for us, and this is why you can tell from our list of mentors that the selection we've made is one of the focus is to ensure that we bridge the gap and have a lot of women in managerial positions and decision-making positions. And also is to look at the promotion of the ethical journalism bit of reporting on women and children. And a typical example would be the recent FGM case we have faced with the country and in terms of reporting. And some will call it its balanced reporting or biased reporting. But then again, the code of conduct tells you anything that has been banned by law in the country should not be promoted. And yet platforms are being offered. So part of this thing is to ensure that we instill and uphold the highest standards of ethical journalism practices amongst our participants. And we've also had our mentors amongst ourselves. And we would also look at the role the mentors would play. And these mentors would actually play a pivotal role in this program by providing one-on-one guidance, offering practical training sessions, giving constructive feedbacks, and facilitating professional networks and opportunities. Through their leadership and commitment to ethical journalism will serve as a beacon for our mentees and also would ensure that their mentees produce award-winning stories by the end of the 6 months mentorship program with focus on reporting on women and children as well. To our mentees, we are expecting you to actively participate in all program activities, apply the skills and the knowledge gained, utilize the feedbacks for improvement, build professional networks, and uphold ethical standards in their journalistic practices. Their dedication and engagement are crucial to the success of this program. And also from our end as Women Journalist Association, we will ensure the smooth coordination of the program, provide necessary resources, monitor the progress, offer additional support to both mentors and mentees. And we are dedicated to creating an enriching and supportive environment for all participants. And what do we expect at the end of the day is that we expect the mentees will exhibit improved journalistic abilities. Each mentee will develop a portfolio showcasing their best work after the mentorship program. And also mentees would complete specific journalistic projects under the mentorship guidance. Mentees will also demonstrate confidence, greater confidence and leadership potentials at the end of the 6 months. And finally, we are hoping that the graduates of this program, which are the 20 mentees, will be equipped to take on more significant roles in the media industry, contributing to a stronger and more ethical journalism community. In closing, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to Freedom House for always supporting Women Journalist Association from the get-go, from the launch and the rebranding of Women Journalist Association back then at Paradise Hotel, and also not just stopping there with the school tours to talk about the basic reporting, basic news writing and reporting for female students in rural Gambia, and which we intend to continue, and we've done that in URR, CRR, and LRR as well. And still with Freedom House, we are continuing with this partnership, which is a 6 months training. But fundamentally, there is no mentorship without mentors. And I will honestly, single-handedly mention somebody who's not here, who is Ami Dufko. And Mrs. Ami Dufko, I'd always say, is one of the few people that the country needs to value and actually honor. She's one person that has been behind the Women Journalist Association from the get-go to the second I am sitting here. And through her, we are able to have Ami Bojan Sisoho. We're able to have Aisha Davis Information Service. We're able to have the veteran journalist here, Chianena Magdoge of GRTS, and of course, former female journalist. And of course, we also have Jaina Banyanja amongst the list. And also I'd like to recommend Meta, we call her Meta of Media Academy for Journalism and Communication, who's a news writing trainer at the Media Academy. And I would also like to say another thank you to the perfect gentleman, I call him Mr. Daniel. He's been one person that will always come on time and will wait 2 hours for everybody to be gathered here. To our he for she champions that we will always quarrel with, and he will figure out all our errors and tell us to rewrite this letter. Sam Mendy, Women Journalist Association, is saying thank you for the endless fights and always supporting us. And to Jibaru Jane, that one we will drag everywhere, anywhere, and we will in fact tell him give us transport report for attending our events. So we will say thank you very much to all of you for making this happen and not turning us down. For the record, these mentors, all of them actually came on board and said yes to it, for the fact that this is a pro bono service they are offering. And I would like to emphasize this to the mentees. If not for Women Journalist Association, value and respect their 1 hour every week they are willing to give you for free. These are busy personalities that are manning institutions and organizations and have busy schedules. If they are willing to mentor you for free without a dime, you have to double up in your efforts and don't wait for them to be the ones to call, text, or follow up with you. It should be the reverse. You should be the ones to ensure that this happens, this gets done, and you learn from them to the best of your abilities, because they are all people of substance, people of value that we deserve to learn from. So I would definitely and honestly say this once again to all the mentees that have made it through out of the selection from the 76 people that applied. We only chose 20. Please make the best use of this opportunity. A lot of people have been dropped for you to be here. So if you're not willing to do it, we will definitely have to replace you. And of course, until Lala Haidara has walked in, I'd like to recognize her presence. According to Ami Dufko, she's the first news editor they have had whilst they were reporting as reporters at GRPS back then, when Ami Dufko was and they have all passed through her, and she was one of the first editors Radio Gambia has ever witnessed in the country. And according to the women that have worked under her, said she is an icon and we should emulate her. So thank you very much, and thank you, Brenda.
The aim of supporting the media, civil society, and the justice sector in general. And this is co-implemented by the American Bar Association. Like I said, it is headed by my colleague Elisa Sinaikai. We've done a lot of work around media, around civil society, and with WoJAG alone, this is our third or fourth engagement. I've lost count by now, and please correct me if I'm wrong. But in this particular activity, as noted by Annette, we are very much keen on seeing women break the proverbial glass ceiling that our veteran journalists have one way or the other broken themselves. So we're hoping that come in December or January 2025, all these women journalists, all these 20 people would have broken that proverbial glass ceiling. So that's why it gives me such a great pleasure and honor to be associated with this event, but also to speak to the essence of mentoring women journalists to make sure that we get to where we are. So this is, for me, is not just another statement about breaking the glass ceiling. It's about talking, walking the talk and talking the walk, and making sure that we are ready and prepared for what is coming in the next 6 months or so. Think of mentorship like a garden, where you have very young plants or at the nursery level that needs care, they need sunlight, they need water, and they need a lot of nurturing. And think of our veteran journalists as the experts that have all of the needed seasoned experience, wise and might, and I would say fabulous styles that they have. And I look in the room, I see, Nene Modol, I see Bojan Siso, I see, Fatumata, I see Esther Davis, and I see Lala. All of these people are here to provide you all of the support and all of the guidance that you need. We cannot do this. We cannot break the proverbial glass ceiling without them. They have weathered storms. Trust me, listen to them. They know what it will take for that garden, that small garden, to germinate into big and blossoming trees. They have very important tricks up their sleeves they can hand you over very gently. So mentorship, therefore, is like that essential garden toolkit that you need in terms of guidance, support, and sometimes all of the support that you need because you're stubborn, you're young and energetic, so you're stubborn. You need a bit of pushing, right? And so when I look around, I see some very young people, the likes of Lolly, very stubborn, Adija Jawara, Adija Bokom, and others. I can name you guys, so the others I'm not sure I can name them. But generally, for young journalists, I know that there's a lot of energy and there's a lot of sometimes indifference, and there's also this expectation that sometimes it's not just about your career, but it's about navigating challenges and seizing opportunities that come your way. If you talk about the glass ceiling for a moment, it's real. We live in a patriarchal society. The Gambia is a patriarchal society. Whether or not we recognize it, me as a man have a better advantage than most of you, or if not all of you women. And just because I'm born a male gives me unfair advantage because we're in a society like the Gambia. So that's why we need the experience, the guidance, and the support of all the more experienced women in the work that we do. So by them sharing their experience, they can help you, the younger ones, to avoid all of the bumps that you might face in the world, but also when you face them, you know what exactly to do so you don't fall into some traps. As a journalist, picture yourself working in an investigative piece. Sometimes you're confused. You don't know where to start. You don't even know where to knock. You don't know who to talk to. Our seasoned journalists, this is where they come in. They will talk to you not just about the writing and the research process of it, but also they have things they've done. They will tell you about what they've done and also laugh about what they have done in the past. So you do something fun, you do something great, but you do it with so much fun and fanfare. And that's the advantage of having a mentor or a mentorship or being part of a mentorship program such as the one we are having here today. So please, I cannot emphasize enough, I'm happy that Anna has talked about this. We cannot waste the time of our veteran journalists. It's an honor and such a very huge privilege for all of you to have the opportunity to get this mentorship from our veteran journalists. You had over 70-something applicants, and only 20 of you could be selected for this. I was going to throw in some jokes, but I will leave that to the veterans to do that later on in the day. But I just wanted to say that when you speak to these veteran journalists, don't be taken aback when they say back in the day, we didn't have those fancy digital cameras or digital recorders, but yet we did great work. It's not necessarily a joke or it's not necessarily a way to push you down, but to let you know that even when it was tougher, we have much more resilient and stronger women. And so that it's letting you know that you have it easy, but you have it also tough, and more importantly, that you can do this even better than what they have achieved as pace setters. It's important that you understand as young journalists or as young women that your role is critical, right? You bring in press and, sometimes boundless energy and new ideas, right? Some of you are very tech savvy, right? I see some of you can hold the iPhone with one hand and text service. I can't do that, and I'm almost your age. I cannot imagine, our budgets in the media doing that. I mean, I know some of them can, but, you would do it better. But what I wanted to say is, if you combine that energy, that tech savviness, and all of that with the experience of our elders in the room, the veteran journalists, imagine the power that you will have. It's unlimited. There is no glass ceiling that you cannot shatter. So on that note, I would say thank you to our volunteer mentors for dedicating your time to this. And as we seek to empower these young women, as we seek to change the landscape of the Gambian media, and I said it, at the entry level, the media is women. But as you climb, the media turns patriarchal. We don't want to see that. And as much as we want more men or we want strong men in the newsroom, we also want strong or even stronger women in the newsroom in higher levels. So thank you for your attention. Let's go mentoring.
President, Women Journalist Association Gambia, Deputy Chief of Party, Mr. Eva Kande, members of the Women Journalist Association, journalists here present, esteemed mentors and mentees. Let me also recognize Ajilala Haidara. Ladies and gentlemen, all protocols respectfully observed. I am not only delighted to be here in your midst, I feel honored and privileged to be associated with this gathering that marks the start of a very important and critical program, just as Mr. Kande has expressed. This Women Journalist Mentorship Program will no doubt contribute immensely to enhancing your work as journalists and to empowering you for even greater roles in what you do. The topic I'm asked to speak on today is overcoming challenges and barriers in journalism for women. And what I would like to do is to restrict this topic to women journalists in the Gambia. And before we talk about overcoming the challenges and barriers in journalism for women, let us find out what the challenges and barriers are. When you look at some research reports pertaining to challenges or barriers affecting women in the media, you will see things like sexual harassment, less pay than her men colleagues, gendered roles, that is assigning women to soft roles, and of course that has to do with stereotyping. Also hostile environment, poor representation in leadership roles within media organizations, online harassment and abuse. Also you'll see work-life balance, as women's roles at home could be demanding as wives and mothers, and media work has its own demands as well. So these are the things you would see when you look at research reports. But is that the case in the Gambia? Or is it a case of subtle biases? As much as women generally may have similarities in the pursuit of work, each country, I believe, has its own uniqueness and challenges. Each person here may have a different experience from the other. So at this point, what I would like to do is to pause and hear from some of you, of course, phenomenal women, what challenges or barriers you're facing or facing in your work as journalists. As I said, with this, when you go to research reports, these are the main things you see, but is that the reality in the Gambia as well? So, can we have 2 or 3 volunteers to share what barriers or challenges they're currently facing or may have faced? Any volunteers? No challenge for you? No barriers?
Maybe juggling work with household chores. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's a common challenge in the Gambia.
There's one behind. I can fit.
Okay.
Would you be loud enough? Would you be loud enough?
Leadership roles and being underpaid.
Okay. Leadership roles and being on a good pay.
Underpaid.
Underpaid. So, with your men colleagues where you work, they're better paid than you?
Yes.
They are. Okay. All right. Any more? Okay. So,
6 hours.
so that's something you face as well. All right. Well, that's what you will find in most of the research reports. These are some of the things that you will find. For me, my first answer to overcoming challenges and barriers in journalism for women is no to stereotyping. Don't allow yourself to be drowned in the victim playbook. No self-pity. If you find yourself pitying yourself, or if you find yourself, yes, you may be a victim, but if you hold onto that victimization, you will fail. What you do is, don't say, oh, because I'm a woman, so I'm being treated this way, that way. Refuse that. No stereotyping. So whatever you may have encountered or you're encountering, dust it off. Put up a fight and try again and move on. Don't let anything stop you. Some of you may have faced or facing subtle biases, but be persistent in the work you love to do. And I promise you will break the glass ceiling. Determination, persistence, hard work, believe in yourself, and be willing to learn. And that is where this mentorship is also very important. All this will definitely help you in overcoming whatever barrier you're facing. You will all agree with me that the Gambians come a long way in promoting gender equality. We still have a lot of work to do. You would realize that women have held and continue to hold key positions in this country. And yes, the advocacy, as I said, to have more women in leadership roles at all levels of society will continue. But let me restrict the talk on women in the media. Media organizations in the Gambia are supportive of women. An example is GPU. GPU is a good example. And who knows whether the next GPU president or secretary general would be a woman. All you need to do is network and support one another and learn as best and as much as you can. The government is also contributing to the growth of women in journalism by employing women in leadership roles. Way back, as we said, Ajilala was, I have read so many news stories edited by Ajilala. She was one of the leading editors at Radio Gambia. And we had other women that headed departments as well. Likewise, when the television came into being, we had a lot of women heading various departments. And for example, here, Aisha Davis is the head of the information department. Ami Boyan Sisoko is the director of press and public relations. Hadi Baji is the director of radio programs. So it's all not lost. And of course, women have also established their own media companies and employing both men and women. So now, how can we overcome these challenges women in journalism face? And I will add, how can we build on the foundation we already have in the Gambia? Great job forming the Women Journalist Association. Congratulations on that and all the hard work that has been put into this association. This, of course, will create a supportive environment, build partnerships, and you all unite in focus, which you very much need. Another good initiative that will help in overcoming challenges is what you have going on right here, organizing mentorship programs. It is a catalyst for growth, both personal and professional. It cultivates talent and builds confidence. And when you're talented and have confidence, especially knowing that you're part of a formidable association like Women Journalist Association, you can take up any challenge. Training also plays an important role for professional growth, competence, and empowerment. Technology, you will agree with me, is a great tool for breaking barriers as well. The digital age we're in now has made access to information very easy. Utilize the digital platform to learn and to share as well. Finally, let me remind you of the power you have as media practitioners to inform, entertain, challenge perceptions, create awareness, mold, and educate. That is not an easy task, and it is indeed a noble role, and you must handle it with responsibility. So do take advantage of offers of training, mentorship, internship, and other learning opportunities that may come your way. I urge you all to be committed to the Women Journalist Association, which you're part of, I believe. The President, Women Journalist Association, I just want to thank you because I have realized how passionate you are about because of the number of calls we have obtained and things we talked about. And to have a leader like this would go a long way in definitely building greater network for you women, which you very much so need. As I said, you'll find this to be very empowering. And when you're empowered, you can definitely face any challenge. Yes, the challenges are there, the barriers are there, but please, do not make yourself victims of that. Stand up and fight it. And one way you can fight it is by definitely contributing your best and participating in this association as much as you can. Take advantage of all the programs they're doing, the mentorship programs, the training, the networking. And once you have once you have the shoulder of each other, you network, you learn from each other, I tell you, you will be empowered. And you need that. You need that in a male-dominated industry like journalism. And of course, I believe in a not too distant future that will change. Because look at all of you here in this room. There are very few men here. And we're not discriminating against you. We definitely thank you and celebrate you for cooperating and collaborating and supporting us, the women, because we cannot do without them as well. We're all partners. We're partners in development, right? They are fathers, our brothers, our husbands, our friends, and our colleagues. And sometimes in institutions, you find them very supportive. So that's why I don't support the stereotyping. What I like is to dust up what comes your way and put up a fight. And only if you put up a fight and be persistent, build confidence, develop yourself, that's when you can definitely bring that lasting. I thank you all for your attention, and I wish you all the best in this mentorship program.
As he rightly said, my name is Lolly Kamara, the Vice President of the Women Journalist Association of the Gambia. I'm so happy to be part of this great milestone, yet again registered by the association. So on behalf of the Women Journalist Association of the Gambia, we would like to extend our sincere gratitude and appreciation to the 20 journalists that have made it this far. You're going to participate in this mentorship program, and we look forward to a great and impactful session with you all. Your dedication and hard work have not gone unnoticed. We are confident that the skills and knowledge you will gain through this program will greatly benefit both your personal growth and professional career. To Freedom House, we are so grateful. You have been a valuable partner since inception, and we want to say thank you to you all. Thank you for the partnership. To the mentors, thank you for being a part of this important initiative and for your contribution to the field of journalism. Finally, to the mentees, please give your best and time to the course. We look forward to seeing the positive impact you will have in the media industry. Until then, thank you all for coming, and have a great day ahead.